Alright, here we go. So now we finally have our next series, our third series of the day. Some more Latin America versus North America. We're following TriGGeR into his next series. He is going up against the Peruvian Terran on Exxon. And I don't know why I'm entering the players before I'm even in the game. Boy. But here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE. We have our Canadian Protoss player who had a shaky time against his previous opponents. He is representing Team Alpha X. It is TriGGeR. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the Peruvian Terran. He's purple, representing Team Exxon. It is Tavo. Tavito himself. Again, so we did manage to talk a lot about TriGGeR in the last series. You know, he's an amazing player, but here in the bottom left we have Tavo. So Tavo, he really rose to prominence this year, specifically in 2021. Last year, he was kind of competing and he was slowly getting better. I believe he was still Masters last year, but he was able to reach the echelons of GM this year alongside his brother, Neo. Neo should be familiar to you guys. Neo is on the CranKy Ducklings, and it was really difficult to break these two apart. Neo and Tavo, you know, they're thick as thieves. You know, they practice and risen together. They still practice together as well, I believe. They're good friends, both Peruvians. And they were both initially on Rebirth, and then they both switched teams and joined Team Exxon together. I believe a month or so ago. And when we were forming the CranKy Ducklings, like, we were really looking hard at these two guys, and unfortunately we couldn't take both of them. We could only pick one. And it was like, oh god, they've both been improving so much this year. We want one of them. We know they have so much potential to grow and improve as players. We know that they haven't peaked by any means. We want to go for one of them, and we of course went for Neo, not Tavo. It was a tough decision. Again, we didn't want to break them up, but they are still good friends. And of course, we still love Tavo. Like, I'm still definitely cheering for him here. He's up against a beast though. Again, Tavo is up against TriGGeR. TriGGeR is an insanely good player right now. He's hot, he's on fire. Can Tavo do it? Can he cause the upset? Can he do it for Peru? We'll see. We'll see if he can do it. As right now, he does go across the map, just scouting with his initial Reaper. Again, as a reminder, Tavo, he is the only Terran player in the entire bracket. The fate of the Terran's shoulders, of Terran, rests on his shoulders. It's a big weight. Boy. Can he hold on to it? We'll see. We'll see. As across the map, ooh, rough start. The Adept didn't manage to get the SCV kill, so the CC will finish up, but the Adept did get into the main base. And it will get one SCV. A second? Ooh. Just barely. Only one kill so far on the Adept. Didn't get the Deeper up in time. This Adept is kind of scary. Doesn't commit to the Shade. But now there is a Stalker. Thankfully, things didn't snowball. Thankfully, Tavo was able to finish up the CC so he can make an orbital. Like, everything is perfectly fine here at the natural. No extra SCVs did go down. So, pretty good so far from Tavo. And he will be able to push away the Adept and the Stalker behind this. Oh no, the SCV! Another SCV goes down. What I was going to say is, behind this, of course, we have a Twilight Council opening, so TriGGeR will commit to Blink Stalkers. Because of this Robo, he can also make a War Prism after the Observer and be aggressive across the map. So this is getting a little bit scary. Meanwhile, Tavo, he did open up with a 1-1-1. Looks like he wants to get ready for a Widowmine drop, which is fine. Let me just quickly check the vision. Did TriGGeR spot this? He did not see the starport. He did see the Widowmine though, so he should be aware that a drop is coming, and it's gonna make it that much more difficult for this drop to actually deal some damage. As I'm pretty sure the first Widowmine was actually borrowed on top of the ramp, so TriGGeR could see the laser sight of it targeting on his units, so yeah, he should be aware. Oh, Ooh, just barely in time. Right, here we go. Drop is headed towards the natural base. Hellion does show up at the third. Doesn't delay the third, unfortunately. Just a little bit too late. We'll be able to take down the probe. And the Stalkers, ooh, they're headed towards the main base. So they know a drop is coming, but they're in the wrong place. The wrong base as the drop does go into the natural base. Do we see a pull? No reaction. No reaction. TriGGeR, please. Ah. 11 probes go down, and Tavo is able to evacuate with the Widow Mines. Beautiful start here for Tavo. TriGGeR, he knew that a drop was coming. He was just in the wrong place. He thought that he was going into the main. Oh boy. Ay, ay, ay. You could argue that that was a bit of a mistake on his part because he already had an observer here. So you could argue that maybe that would give him enough of a reaction time to defend in his main, and you should maybe have your Stalkers here at the natural. Regardless, Tavo was able to get the damage done and evacuate as the medevac is still alive, and he's just getting into the swing of things, throwing down all of this production, delaying his third CC. Interesting. Makes sense though. I don't know if I don't favor Tavo in a longer game, like in a macro game. So going for a very strong timing makes sense to me, right? We have not 1-1 on the way. We have combat shields and stim on the way. We have a Raven for that disable to shut down those Colossus. When this push does move out, it's going to be quite strong. Oh, at the same time, Tavo getting ready to dive into the main base. Oh, this time he has been spotted. No, no. Oh god. Oh my god, I can't believe it survived. Survived one volley. The medevac does manage to escape and come back home. And Tavo, unfortunately, he wasn't able to scatter to the main base, so I don't believe he's spotted the Colossus quite yet. You can make a couple of assumptions though, and again, regardless, Tavo, like, yo, he's got his Raven, like, he's ready for this. As long as he keeps a Raven alive. that's what matters. As his upgrades are about to finish up, third CC does get thrown down. It was delayed, but again, he has been focusing on his army. And I feel like this is best case scenario right now, because he was able to keep his medevac and his Widow Mines alive from earlier. So now they're here to help bolster his army. He does move out. It does get spotted by the Adept. TriGGeR is aware that the army may be coming across the map. He does have a couple of shield batteries, one in his third and one at his natural. And TriGGeR does have a couple of other spotters here. He has an observer here outside his third, an observer covering his main in case a drop comes in. His army is here waiting at the center. He's not covering this location over at the third, but he gets a glimpse of it and he moves. He sees. Immediately, he does rotate around to his third base. Tavo sees this. Oh god. Be careful so much with that Raven. Does get 2 disables off. Oh my god. But beautiful force fields does delay this push. And now there's Colossus only a couple more seconds and then they're back. Tavo, he needs to get out of here. Yeah, he does back off. I love that he didn't overstay his welcome. Like, the disables were great, but the force fields were just as good, right? So he couldn't really take advantage of the fact that those Colossus weren't a part of the fight. So he does back off, does disengage. And now he's going for his third. Meanwhile, TriGGeR is moving out on the map. Again, he was able to push away that attack and he's trying to catch it. Oh my god, and he may. Ooh, okay, TriGGeR does back off. Bear in mind, he does have Blink as well, so he can pounce on those medevacs. Meanwhile, Tavo, he's just regrouping. Again, just kind of securing his third base, making sure he's in position to defend it. And Tavo, he has enough energy for an auto turret. He doesn't have enough energy for a disable, which is honestly kind of terrifying. Oh boy. He scans, he misses the army, no! Oh my god, he immediately loses the Raven. Takes a lot of swipes of those Colossus. Ay, Tavo, he wants in. I don't know if this is the best move, mate. To be fair, there's no shield batteries, there's no cannons. But again, with only 2 Vikings, I don't know, mate. I'm doubtful. Okay, he backs off. Thank God. I'm like, mate, you don't want to fight here. You don't want to do it. Don't do it, papi. Tavo does back off. He comes back home. All right, and here we go. We do have an observer here on top of the army. Hopefully Tavo was able to see it and deal with it. Again, TriGGeR, he has full eyes on where the main army of Tavo is, and he's going for it. Oh my god, Tavo, he's on siege. He's not ready for this. He has no idea. Oh god. Another warping of Zealots are coming. Sorry, Stalkers are coming in here for TriGGeR. Disruptors are on the way as well. Oh, TriGGeR is ready to push in. Tavo, he still has no idea. He does siege up though. He's ready with his Widow Mines. Okay, this is probably the best fight that Tavo can take defensively. His boys are stimming. His Vikings are coming in. Is it going to be enough? He even pulls his boys. Oh, God. He's really struggling to fight through. He does take down one of the Colossus, but the other two are still standing strong. And TriGGeR, he's just mowing through this Terran army. Oh, my God. G gets called. TriGGeR, with just a strong push at his third, takes the game. Also, shout out to Neo in the chat. I was talking about it at the start of the game. You know, Neo and Tavo are really good friends. Neo cheering for his boy. What is happening? Nina just joined the lobby. Nina joined the lobby. She's like, let's go. She was up against TriGGeR. It's like, this isn't looking right. God damn it, guys. God damn it. Alright. Here we go. Players are ready. Gonna get ready to dive into game number 2. So, for those wondering what the hell just happened, Nina just randomly joined the lobby. she's like, let's go. And then Puzzle joined the lobby. Okay, we got him out of there. So good. They're off to play their series. You'll cast Paco in the finale anyway. We'll see. We'll see, Fernando. We'll see. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE. We have the Canadian Protoss player. He is yellow, representing Team Alpha X. It is TriGGeR. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the Peruvian Terran. He's red, representing Team Exxon. It is Tavo. Oh boy. Aye. Now, people in the chat bringing it up, you know, here comes the A-click. Here comes the Protoss. Oh boy, it did hurt that, unfortunately, to defend, Tavo didn't have any Ravens. He couldn't disable any of the Colossus. He lost his Raven earlier. And obviously, Tavo, he delayed his third base because he wanted to be aggressive, right? We saw him go for that strong push earlier, and it just didn't really work out for him. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to break into the third base. TriGGeR, he was there, he was ready, he was on top of those force fields. And after that, it was a little bit downhill for Tavo. A little bit. For Tavito. Meanwhile, exclamation mark Funada Enki, because Enki should be here. It's been a while since we've had a Spanish stream for Battle of the Americas. Yeah, Enki, like once a month he shows up. To be fair, Enki, like, he is busy casting GSL, and GSL is at a pretty bad time for him, so it does kind of ruin his sleep schedule. But at the same time, like, yo, we need a Spanish caster here. What's going on? Meanwhile, TriGGeR was trying to be a little bit annoying with his probe, trying to trigger his opponents, if you will. But Tavo, he was able to clean it up. Got his Marine out. It's all good. Interesting decision, by the way. Tavo actually skipped his Reaper to go for a Marine instead. So he does kind of give up that scouting information, but, you know, to be a little bit greedier. Which could bite him, because TriGGeR is going for a Stargate opening. And Tavo will have no idea. TriGGeR is going to show up with his Adepts just to be a little bit more annoying. Tavo, he doesn't risk taking his natural at his natural or on the low ground. He does take it up in his main to be floated down. And I imagine Tavo, he's going to be looking to move out across the map with his Hellions. Yeah, and that's where he's going to get his scouting information, ideally. But most likely, he's going to have to stay at home, especially because of these Adepts. Oh boy. And here come the Phoenixes. So thankfully, TriGGeR isn't like being ultra aggressive and going for an Oracle first or anything like that. But instead, he's going to be banking up 5 to 6 Phoenixes, gain map control, shut down drops. Like, there's so much power in these Phoenixes. To be fair, it does take a lot of micro and a lot of map awareness to make sure they are where they need to be. But again, like, there's a lot of potential with Phoenixes. Just like Leaf Silvers. They're both great. They're great. Great openers. Oh, nice micro. Yo, he's gonna be able to break through both Adepts. I kind of wanted him to commit in, not gonna lie, but he does back off. Didn't want to get picked off by those Phoenixes. There was some nice moves there from Tavo. Nice moves. Ducklings start casting. You're leaving your homie there all alone, right? Ducklings, if he's free and if Ducklings is available, he will join me for the semis, for the semifinals. Spanish caster ask Cristiano. Ooh. That's the real question there. Maybe we'll see. I do know that Battle of the Americas is kind of Enki's baby though, so I don't know really if we can switch casters like that, but yeah, maybe we'll look into it. Meanwhile, here comes the Widowmine drop. It did sneak around the entire side of the map. TriGGeR though, this time with very good reaction times as the Widowmines do borrow, but oh my god, they both get picked up. Oh, no damage done in the main. And these ones here in the natural will get cleaned up as well. Tavo will at least get some scat information, I guess. You know, he does get an eye on the gateway count. He does know the forge timing. He does know the commitment to Phoenixes, but he already knew that. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, the medevac! No! Tavo, please! Oh god. The medevac does go down, and now there's nothing here in the natural. No, Tavo. Oh god, he's falling apart. To be fair, that's the risk you take. Tavo knew that there were Phoenixes out there. He knew that. So, and despite that, he just sent his Widowmines across the map, taking a massive risk. In the end, they don't pay for themselves at all. Oof. Oh boy, but yes, get in. Wait, are you guys casting ESL Asia here? Yes, we cast ESL Asia every single week. We've been casting ESL Asia for about a year now. Oh boy, meanwhile the Phoenixes do dip in and dip out. Thankfully this time the Marines were in position, but again, a lot of workers have already gone down. And now TriGGeR, he's free to expand, take another base, you know, work on his Colossus production if he wants to. Robo's on the way. Things are looking grim for Tavo. Now he's pushing out across the map. Something that's important to note is that he's pushing out with only 2 medevacs here. He does have a tank, he does have a cyclone. Army gets spotted. And we'll see if TriGGeR has enough to defend. I feel like he has more than enough. I'm not gonna lie. Oh god, TriGGeR, he's gonna jump in. The Feasts, they pick up the tanks, they pick up the Cyclones, they pick up the Medivacs. Everything just gets eaten up by the Protoss. Oh. And TriGGeR, in a very dominant showing, I think he's gonna take down one of the last remaining Terrans. I did say that Tavo was the last Terran. I apologize. I forgot about White Idra. White Idra, he already got knocked out of the tournament though. And apparently Puzzle is Terran as well. Puzzle's gonna have a hard time against Nina. And I said it at the beginning, I hope you guys like PvP because it looks like that's how this tournament is going to end. It's nothing but Protoss. As the tank gets picked off, here come the charge lots and the stalkers. And Tavo's pulling the boys. He's doing what he can right now, but there are just so many Feasts in the sky, they can just pick up whatever they want. Thankfully, they're starting to run out of energy, which I don't think that's like the best, you know, reason to not be dying to Feasts. It's like, oh, it's okay. They ran out of energy because they've just been killing everything. And GG gets called. TriGGeR takes game number 2 and the series 2-0. TriGGeR moves on to the semifinals.